So do you have to learn about the Big Ten, or is this you drawing back your past knowledge, or you just kind of figure it's just like the ACC, the different opponents?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of learning. But yeah, I coached here for 5 years in the Big Ten, so pretty familiar with it, but haven't paid that close of attention to like players, and so it's a little bit of a learning curve, but very similar, I think, to the ACC, and volleyball's just grown so much over the last 10 years where every conference has great teams and medium teams, and so I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a similar vibe.
10 games into the season, where would you evaluate your serving and your passing compared to where you want to be?
Oh, I mean, it's hard to give it like a letter grade. I would say we're pretty solid. You know, serving has been good. There's some things we're doing really well serving. There's some things we can get better at. And passing, you know, I feel like when you lose such a great passer like Lexi, there's going to be a little bit of a drop-off. It's just figuring out how we can be successful being ourselves, because you're not going to replace a player like that. So we need our players to trust themselves and be comfortable with who they are. But, you know, I feel like overall our passing has been solid, and playing, you know, a freshman, and I know Harper's passing has improved from last year, and Laney and Liv are getting better each game.
For serving, how do you determine, like, you rotate Torreya and Taylor, and then Andy and the serving specialist? How do you decide which route to go with this?
A lot of times it's a feel. It might be, you know, what rotation the other team's in, especially with Taylor and T. And then with Andy and Macy, it's just Andy's got a really tough serve, but sometimes if she has like a rough time through the front row or makes an error, I like to take her out really quick and not have her go back there and feel like she's compounding errors. So that's more of a feel thing.
Olivia said that Big Ten play is going to be about this group proving to themselves how good they can be. I guess, how do you view what these next 2 months are going to be about for this group?
I think we have to be on a mission to continue to get better, and to understand that each game is really important for who we want to be in December. So, of course, we want to take it each game at a time, and the goal is to win a Big Ten championship, but that's also not the ultimate goal for this year. And we want to enjoy this journey and continue to point out things we're doing well and things we need to get better at to be our best at the end of the year.
How hard is it, or easy is it for a team this good to not get complacent when they're 10-0 and number one in the country and everyone sees how good they can be?
I think it'll be pretty tough for us to get complacent just because of the talent in our gym, because if somebody gets complacent, they're probably going to lose their spot. So if that's pretty much the answer.
Is there anything you like or get excited for once the Big Ten conference season arrives?
I just like I feel like there is some familiarity with each team, so like the prepping is a little bit different. Even though I haven't been in the conference for a while, but this team has, and obviously the coaches have, so the prepping can be a little more focused. You also kind of know the style of play of each team, which makes it really fun to prep for. So that's probably the most exciting thing for me as a coach. But I'm also looking forward to seeing some of the gyms, and I've never played at USC or UCLA, and there's some places that I have great memories of that we get to go back to that I haven't been in a long time. So I'm excited for some of those road trips.
Where are you excited to go back to? Do you have good memories from?
I like playing at Purdue. Yeah, I think it's really loud and small, and their student section is one of the best. So I'm excited to go back there. I'm not sure I ever won at Wisconsin as an assistant, so looking forward to going to Wisconsin. Probably those two are my top two.
Do you feel like your team kind of feeds off of the Libero? And by that I mean, like, do you think they pass better in general when Liv's at Libero, or play scrappier defense when Laney's at Libero? Not
really. I don't think it affects the team much who's Libero.
So Bergen might be getting a better feel for how Virginia needs to set. Like, how does Virginia need to be set to give them a chance to be successful?
I think Virginia needs a little, if you're talking, location and height, I think she just needs a little bit higher ball than maybe some other opposites and even opposites in the past. But the main thing for Virginia is feeling that the team and the coaches have confidence in her. So can we set her in big moments, and can we set her out a system? And when we do and she's successful, I feel like it really snowballs into a great game for her. So if she gets the feeling that we're avoiding her, I think that's when she gets really tight. And I think it's real for all players. If you feel like you're being avoided, then you get a ball, that one rep is magnified, like I have to kill it. So you don't want her or anybody worried about one singular rep.
Kenny, what's your opinion on the Big Ten scheduling? The fact that you open on a Wednesday, they're going to have matches throughout the conference that sometimes are on Fridays, sometimes on Saturdays, sometimes on Sunday. There's not a whole lot of consistency, in part because of the growth in some of the television partners they have.
Well, luckily our non-conference schedule is like that, so I felt like we played all over the place when it came to days. So we're prepared for that, and we played at way different times. But I think it is huge for the game. It just means more TV games, and that networks are looking for ways to put volleyball on TV. So I think it's great. It does make it hard, to prep and to balance rest time, but a small price to pay for more exposure.
How do you assess the risk that Taylor's taking with her attack? She talked a little bit about being more going down the line or trying tips like that. How do you assess how she's incorporated that into her game?
I think Taylor's been doing a great job of mixing things up and working to use the whole court, and again, finding confidence in more than just one swing. That's what she needs to do, especially at her spot. She's going to get a lot of junk, so she's got to be able to figure out ways, doesn't have to kill it all the time, but to get us easy balls coming back. So if she consistently hits the same shot, it makes it really easy to scout against. So we want to challenge her to continue to develop more range.
What have you seen from Michigan on tape so far?
They run a 6-2. They run super fast. They have one of the best outsides in the conference. So it feels like this is the team that's playing very confident. And they get everybody involved offensively. It's not, even though they have Jacobs, they really do a good job of setting everybody. And they've got 2 hitters, I think, in the top 5 in hitting percentage and opposite in the middle in the conference. So that'll be a great challenge for us. And I think their coach does a great job, and they play with a lot of joy, and they just love volleyball. It's a vibe I get even from watching film.
What would you be looking for individually from just Liv and Laney as conference season begins? Individually, they just want them to play the best they can. They don't need to be each other, or, Laney doesn't have to pass better than Liv. Liv doesn't have to dig better than Laney. They just need to be themselves. And I think they're doing a great job. And no matter what role they're in, they're both rising to the occasion in that role. So it's been pretty neat to see as a coach that, 2 elite players can switch roles and still have great mindsets and give to the team and play great.
What's the importance to starting off on the right foot with the 2 games this week and taking care of business on your home court and during?
Yeah, it's definitely important to be great at home. I don't know if these 2 games are way more than the last 2 games of the conference or 2 games in the middle. They all matter towards winning and losing the championship. So I think they're all pretty important. But we want to play great at home, and coming off, a match where we didn't play our best complete volleyball game, I think that's what makes this game important is, after you play poorly, you want to play great the next game.
You had one practice since the match, but the defensive intensity or intentionality you talked about after Saturday, how has the team responded to that?
Yeah, they're great. And part of that, again, as I've already said, the coach's job to prep the team, and we're taking that a little bit more serious, spending more time on our opponents, and thought that went really well.
On that topic of playing at home, if you zoom out a little bit, September, every match has been at home outside of the one at Creighton, so you haven't had to leave the state this month. How have the players benefited from just getting into a routine, staying close, and not having to spend a whole lot of time traveling?
Yeah, I think it's huge when you get rest time and you get to sleep in your own bed, but I also think there's some advantages to going on the road when it's just a team. It feels like we haven't had team meals together in such a long time, and we haven't spent a lot of one-on-one time together, which that's what you organically get on the road. So not doing that for a whole month, I kind of felt like we missed a little bit of that.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.